in your face whenever I feel like.
Oh! Oh!
Get on the ground. On the ground now. Tomorrow, call the police.
Call the police right now.
Get on the ground. You're going to jail too. Assault on a federal officer.
Get covered! Get covered!
He's got a badge.
Oh no!
Federal Bureau. He's an FBI agent.
Aggravated domestic violence regulation. We don't know if he's armed and counterterrorism. Yeah, he could be hiding anywhere. We're getting the kids out of the house right now. So we don't know if he's armed. He's been drinking. Is he intoxicated?
The Federal Bureau of Investigation, commonly known as the FBI, is respected worldwide for being a role model in law enforcement. It not only sets the standard for keeping us safe, but also stands as a guardian of integrity. While most FBI agents are busy upholding justice, there might be a couple who abuse their authority, tarnishing the agency's reputation. So in today's video, let's take a look at such 4 FBI agents who get to trade their badges for handcuffs. But first, hit that like button. YouTube's algorithm might not be a fan of these videos, but you definitely are, so show some love. First up, we have Ruben Hernandez, an undercover agent based in Las Vegas who was in Michigan on an undisclosed investigation. In the early hours of December 6, 2016, Grand Rapids police officers were called to Planet Fitness after receiving calls about a man seen brandishing a gun inside the fitness center. But upon their arrival at the scene, something unexpected happened and the suspect began to open fire on them.
Get covered! Get covered!
Give me this one.
In total, the suspect fired 3 rounds at the police, but fortunately no one got hurt. He was later seized by the Grand Rapids cops, only to be shocked by the fact that the shooter was not just anyone but an FBI agent.
He's got a badge.
Oh no, sir.
Federal Bureau. He's an FBI agent.
Following the arrest, the officers conducted a background investigation which revealed that the individual in custody went by the name of Ruben Hernandez, an FBI agent from Las Vegas. According to the 911 call earlier, a drunk Hernandez caused a commotion inside an all-night gym in Grand Rapids, then opened fire at a responding officer dispatched to investigate. As you can see in the footage clearly, the agent is not himself and can be heard repeatedly apologizing to the officers for his actions.
Oh no, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I am so sorry, sir. Oh man, just get me out of here, man. I want to go home to my family.
Not yet. We have to talk to you.
To me? Can I please get out of here? I'm so sorry. Please get me out of here, man.
Hernandez does a little more of that on his entire way to the police station, where he was further questioned and charged with 3 felony charges, including assault with intent to commit great bodily harm less than murder, discharging a firearm at or near a building, and possession of a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. The 8-year veteran of the FBI was also terminated from his office. Shortly after the arrest, Hernandez's lawyer said that he only had a vague, hazy recollection of the events, blaming it on a paranoia attack on account of alcohol. Later, Hernandez pleaded no contest to the charges in hopes of avoiding jail time. While a no contest plea doesn't admit guilt, it is treated as such during sentencing, which may sometimes result in leniency in the sentencing process. And this could have very well worked with Hernandez's case, as even the public prosecutor, after keeping in mind Hernandez's exemplary records and his remorse, recommended that he should be exempted from jail time, as no one was harmed during the altercation. However, the judge had something else in mind.
You're a man who lived an exemplary life up until the day that this incident occurred. Anytime anyone takes a shot at any peace officer, being locked up is a reality. That I could not in conscience follow the prosecutor's recommendation of no jail.
Hernandez was an FBI veteran for 8 years and had a spotless record until a few drinks changed everything. He may or may not have gotten paranoid, but he did shoot at the cops, and for that landed in jail for 4.5 months with 2 years of probation. Props to the judge for affirming that nobody is exempt from the law. A lesson Hernandez learned the hard way indeed. But that's not the end of the story from that eventful night, folks. It wasn't just Hernandez's drinking that caused the problems that night. Meet John Paul Salazar, who, while Hernandez was under questioning, appeared at the police headquarters around 5 a.m., asking about Hernandez's whereabouts. It was later identified that John was also an undercover FBI agent from Las Vegas and claimed to be Hernandez's partner. However, the officer quickly realized that something was wrong with this agent from the get-go, and he too, like Hernandez, was under the influence. Talk about partners in crime, huh? $14 pieces of gum. Wonder what he was drinking before he showed up. Also, did you notice the sheer stupidity of the officer with the whole covering of the video? Doesn't he realize that simply covering the video doesn't prevent the audio from being recorded? Anyway, let's see how the complete situation unfolded.
Hopefully better than
Even better, huh? Yeah, savage.
John Salazar.
Deputy Chief, you guys are from where? Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna try to find out, maybe shed some light on what led up to all this.
Right. And what I'm trying to just verify is make sure who you have,
Yeah.
basically. Who do you have? Or do you have a photo? Or
Yeah, we got a photo coming.
Or just
We think it's Rube.
yeah, can I see him or give me a photo?
Yeah,
Just
we'll
so
get
I-
you a photo here.
Okay, great, thanks.
Alright. Is he staying at the same place that you are?
Right, yeah, let me, once I verify who's
Oh,
here,
understood,
let me just
okay.
verify who's here.
Just tell me who that is.
Oh my gosh, okay, that is Ruben Hernandez.
That's him. That's your partner.
That is my partner.
John gets confirmation that the person they caught is his partner, Hernandez. The news he definitely wasn't expecting at 5 o'clock in the morning. That too, while on an undercover job in a different state.
Man, what, is he okay? Like, what happened to his face there?
Yeah, he looks scuffed up, but, you know, like I say, he's, that wasn't done here by us. That was before.
We want to get him pulled.
Yeah, we'll find out.
He wanted to see a picture before he talked to us.
So your supervisor's notified?
Yeah, let me call them.
As the cops turned their attention towards John, digging deep into the matter, he began to get evasive, giving flimsy answers, and soon stepped back to report the incident to his supervisors. That is when the officers, in what they thought to be a private off-the-camera chat, whispered this unexpected revelation about John. In the recording, one of the cops can be heard saying that John smelled strongly of alcohol and noticed he was chewing a lot of gum, likely to cover up the smell on his breath. From this point forward, the cops become increasingly suspicious of John until they eventually decide to grill him some more to get to the bottom of the truth.
Did you get a call from him tonight?
What's that?
Did you get a call from him tonight? Someone called us and we're still trying to figure out who called us to warrant, let's say he was in trouble or something. That wasn't you?
Listen, I'm not gonna answer anything right now. I have no idea.
How come you're not going to answer anything?
Well, I mean, I gotta wait for, I'm talking to my superiors and everything else and see.
You told a lieutenant you were coming down here to kind of shed some light on what happened.
Right, no, I'm here, and then there's also gonna be a special agent from the RA here in Grand Rapids. I don't know if you know S.A. Burns or not, but
Yeah.
he's gonna come down here. And so,
After some time, John asked the cops if he could fetch his phone charger from his rental car, and upon their return inside, the cops noticed something they should have checked way before.
I know that you want to wait for chain of command. Before I leave, I just want to know if you're armed at this point.
oh, yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Sidearm issued.
Yeah, it's right here. Right.
Okay.
It's my lock right here.
Yep. All right. Okay.
If you are wondering what's wrong for an FBI agent to carry a gun here, you must understand that in Michigan and many other states in the US, it is illegal to carry firearms under the influence of alcohol. Hard to imagine how an FBI agent could miss that fact, right? Soon after, Special Agent Burns showed up at the scene. Once debriefed on John's condition, the agent wasted no time and straight away went to work.
Salazar?
Yeah, are you Trey?
No, I'm Sean Burns. I'm the SSR. These guys are gonna take the gun and do it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, just let them do what they got.
Okay, all right, hold it. Very good.
You got your creds, right?
Yeah, we can hold
Hold on to that. I'll just take this.
The cops go on to detain John on the suspicion of DUI, seizing his firearms, and from there he is later taken for his breathalyzer test.
Need you to seal your lips and blow until it beeps.
All right, you ready?
Yep, seal your lips and blow. Keep going. There you go.
Looks like the cops were right about one thing. John was indeed drunk, and the results were not surprising to anyone.
Your BAC right now is 0.116.
Is that above?
Oh yeah. At 5:22 in the morning. Legal limit in Michigan is 0.08. So we'll probably be holding on to your firearm.
Right.
In Michigan, the legal limit for driving is 0.08, and John is slightly over this limit. No biggie, right? However, considering the circumstances, it's reasonable to assume that his blood alcohol level was even higher an hour earlier, when he was actively driving on his way to the police station. Not to mention that his firearm was with him during this entire period. A crime that under Michigan law is punishable with a fine of up to $100 and 93 days in jail. So, jail time for John just like his partner, yeah? Surprisingly, John dodged DUI, carrying while under the influence, or any other charges due to the lack of evidence. However, the police department did send reports on John to the FBI and the U.S. Office of Inspector General to figure out if any disciplinary action was needed. When questioned about it, Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker's office stated they reviewed reports on John, but didn't have enough evidence to charge him with anything. It's shameful is what it is. FBI or not, if there's one fundamental principle that shapes our society, it's the very idea that the law applies to all. John may have escaped justice, but the same cannot be said for our next FBI agent. Next on our docket is a disturbing case from the Capitol riots. Meet Jared L. Wise, a 50-year-old former FBI agent who is charged with illegally entering the Capitol during the January 6, 2021 riots and faces 3 misdemeanor counts. But first, for those not familiar with January 6th events, here's a quick recap. During a rally in Washington, D.C., following Joe Biden's electoral victory, thousands of Trump supporters marched to the Capitol under the Stop the Steal banner.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
But we all know how that turned out. Some of these protesters engaged in destructive actions, taking souvenirs, while others had more serious intentions, like kidnapping members of Congress. Some even carried zip-tie handcuffs and chanted threatening slogans. At approximately 2 p.m., the crowd forcefully entered the U.S. Capitol, smashing windows and attacking Capitol Police. That's when Jared was initially seen on the scene. In a few hours, everything was back under control, and most people had been cleared from the Capitol building. Jared must have assumed that he had successfully escaped, but little did know that someone would rat him out. Because just a year later, on January 26, 2022, the FBI received an anonymous tip that Jared was inside the United States Capitol building on January 6, 2021. The tip even provided Jared's date of birth, cell phone number, and a potential residence in Texas. The FBI had everything they needed, and they swiftly launched an investigation and discovered that Jared's phone was active near the Capitol during the breach. CCTV footage and police body cameras further confirmed Jared's presence inside the building at that time. After entering through the Senate wing door, Jared celebrated by clapping and raising his arms in triumph. Dressed in a blue jacket with a dark face mask and carrying a dark backpack, he strolled around for a while before exiting through a window. After stepping outside, he joined the group on the Upper West Terrace. According to body camera footage, he yelled at police officers, and we quote, "You guys are disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You are the Gestapo. You can't see it. Shame on you. Shame on you." When violence against law enforcement began in front of Jared, including officers being knocked to the ground directly in front of him, Jared started riling up the crowd and shouted, "Yeah, f them. Yeah, kill 'em." A few seconds later, as assaults continued, he shouted in the direction of the rioters attacking the police line, "Kill 'em! Kill 'em! Kill 'em!" Based on this evidence, Jared was arrested and was later charged with 4 misdemeanors, including entering a restricted building and impeding government business. Surprisingly, Jared worked for the FBI from 2004 to 2017, reaching a supervisory special agent position. It's disturbing that someone with that mindset had so much power. Fortunately for us, he had been caught, and all thanks to the anonymous tip-off. Lastly, there's Richard Trask, a 41-year-old FBI agent who not only betrayed his badge and the principles he once stood for, but also did it in one of the most shameful ways a man could do. On July 18, 2021, around 2 a.m. Kalamazoo County deputies received a distressing call from Richard's wife asking for help, reporting that she had been physically assaulted by Richard after the two returned from a swinger party that she didn't like.
Hey,
Aggravated domestic?
Yeah, with strangulation.
We don't know if he's armed.
Sheriff's office. Sheriff's office. Anybody in there?
Upon reaching the scene, the officers looked for Richard and his wife, but they couldn't find them. Needless to say, cops had to be extra cautious on this one because this was no ordinary suspect. Not only is he familiar with law enforcement tactics, but he practically lives and breathes them as an FBI agent.
And counterterrorism. Yeah, he's behind anyway. We're getting the kids out of the house right now. So we don't know if he's armed. He's been drinking. Is he intoxicated? Trask, T-R-A-S-K, and first name Richard.
As the search for Richard continued, one of the officers eventually located Richard's wife. When questioned about the whole incident, she disclosed something truly shocking.
You're not turning your volume off in this case. You've been on the whole thing.
You said at one point took your head and hit it against the nightstand?
Yeah.
How many times do you think you did that?
Multiple times, said Trask's wife.
He's hitting your head. You said he strangled you, choked you out. She's got a pretty good laceration on the side of her head. She's got strangulation marks around her neck.
Richard's wife told the deputies that an argument broke out between the two after the couple returned from a couple's swinger party at the Delta Hotel in Oshtemo, Michigan, that she hadn't wanted to attend in the first place. According to her, she was not really in the swinger lifestyle, which in turn left her husband in a consistently irritated state. Richard was drunk and began to argue about it on their way home, which later turned into a much heated debate once they were in their bedroom. But all of a sudden, the whole scene took a dark turn when Richard lost his cool and allegedly climbed on top of her in bed and repeatedly bashed her head into a nightstand. Notice the bloodstains? To break free, she attempted to grab his beard multiple times in self-defense, which only made Richard angrier, and he grabbed her throat with both hands and started to choke her. Had she not taken the desperate move to grab his balls as hard as possible, who knew, in all probability, she could have died from Richard's assaults. After the whole incident, Richard took off in his car, but he kept on actively texting her stating messages in a hateful manner.
At the tone, please record your message.
Hey, Richard. It's Deputy Kid, Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department. Just trying to talk to you. Looks like we had an incident at your house tonight. I'm trying to get your side of the story.
2 hours later, the cops tracked down Richard in a shopping center parking lot, and once confirmed, they wasted no time in confronting him.
Richard, step up. What? Step up. All right. Turn. Stand your hands back.
What is going on? What is going on?
Any weapons on you?
No.
Okay, where are your guns at?
At the house?
At the house, you have none with you though?
No.
Go ahead, take them. Get a statement.
All right, Richard. I'm going to read you your Miranda warnings.
Richard was arrested and charged with an assault with an intent to do great bodily harm. Take a look at how the special FBI agent flipped the script during his virtual sentence hearing and made claims that it wasn't him, but the alcohol made him do it.
I cannot take back what happened that night, but I can find solace in knowing that I was not myself. My wife has forgiven me for what happened because she knows, in her words, that night was not you. I cannot recall any details of that night, but I do take responsibility.
Well, alcohol or not, what Richard did was outright criminal and should be behind bars for his actions. However, he ultimately pleaded no contest to a single charge of aggravated assault, and as part of the plea agreement, agreed never to work in law enforcement within the state of Michigan ever again. The prosecution explained that they reached this agreement because Richard's wife refused to cooperate and testify against her husband, fearing that would destroy his career. So by all means, be sure to keep an eye out for him, as this former public servant might just casually try to join your local police department in any of the 50 states. That's it for today, everyone. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.